All right, my name is Jared Lyles, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Printless Plans, an extraordinary new technology which allows you to wirelessly display plans and drawings on a large format digital paper substrate.
So Printless Plans reduces the burdens of using architectural drawings. Professionals like myself are forced to carry large rolls of paper plans around the construction site. They're large, they're cumbersome, and they're heavy. And one of the inherent problems with paper is that it's easily worn or torn due to job site hazards. But moreover, there's an issue with project downtime. Project downtime happens whenever new plans are issued for a construction site. So from the time the architect makes the new revisions to getting it to the contractor, people have to wait. That's time and money.
So your standard drawing is a D-size architectural drawing, and if you're familiar with that, you'll know that it's a 2 by 3 foot sheet of paper that you have to carry around. Your typical drawing for a large, let's say, retail building like a Target can literally contain hundreds to thousands of these drawings. So if I want to get a whole idea of a project in its entirety, I would literally have to carry around a tome of drawings that was this big and probably weighed about 50 to 60 pounds.
Here's what our customers have to say.
Out, and once again, they tend to be dusty, and they got dirt and coffee on them from just sort of living in the construction trailer. And then you actually go to look at the reference detail, and it's the wrong one because it's not the current set of drawings. And then you have to stop everything. You have to make sure that they have the current set of plans. You have to, and basically means we can't get our work done. Also means we need to go back and look to see what other work that has already been installed is installed incorrectly because they have not been working out the current set of plans for, could be weeks or even months at sometimes.
So the bigger hurdle, as opposed to printing these big sets of drawings, is that they change constantly. And everybody who's out on the job site has to be updated with those changes. And Tom Liebel, a good friend of ours and an architect, was talking about those. If you can't keep those changes and revisions consistent through everyone who's collaborating on the project, then you're going to be behind and you're going to build the wrong thing. And those are very costly. We've actually estimated the cost of building the wrong thing. And this top number here is the amount spent, $702 million domestically in the US alone on printing drawings. And 6% of construction costs are associated with rework, essentially building the wrong thing, tearing it down, and rebuilding it again. And as you can see, on a $20 million project, the lost revenue due to rework is quite substantial. And we've calculated lost revenue. This number only goes up as projects get larger and more complex. So you can imagine a building like a hospital with several piping drawings and things like that. If a contractor says that your plumbing pipe goes through my HVAC duct, then that's going to have to be changed, and these things happen hundreds or thousands of times across a large project.
So what we have come up with is this Zephyr. Printless Plans offers a better than perfect substitute for paper plans. It's flexible, compact. You can view plans in their original size, 2 feet by 3 feet. It's viewable in sunlight, and you can access an entire library of drawings from one device.
So what this essentially does is changes a huge roll of plans and drawings that is static to one single device, which is, like as John said, lightweight and low battery consumption, and it can be updated at any time. So there are a few people who've been working with tablet PCs and other technology in the job site, but those don't quite cut it, and we're going to talk about that. So you have iPhones which have traditional LCD displays, which are slightly different from what we use. iPads. If you can imagine looking at something that's the size of an iPad or something the size of a 2 by 3 foot drawing on an iPad, it's annoying, it's frustrating. You have to either zoom in or pan around. And then you have this Panasonic 20-inch tablet, but if you look, there's some problems inherent with these backlit LCD displays, and that their battery life is only 2 hours. My workday is 8 hours or longer, so that's a problem. And if I take this up on the construction site and one of the guys drops a hammer on it, then I'm out of a $5,000 tablet. They have larger displays which can display the whole drawing in its entirety, but as you can see, the weight of those is quite heavy, and they have to be plugged in as well. So if I don't have electricity, then it's not too much good to me. We feel like the Zephyr is the perfect substitute. It's lightweight, it's durable, it can be dropped from over 10 feet, it can be splashed with water, it's resistant to sand and gravel, and its battery life is over 30 hours.
So the construction industry is a huge market that generates over $850 billion a year. It's highly segmented, but what we're doing is focusing directly on the construction market. We're focusing on the construction market because the construction industry bears the brunt of printing costs as well as rework costs associated with ripping down pre-constructed structures that have been installed incorrectly.
And furthermore, the construction firms are the ones who are in charge of making sure the project comes or is completed on time and on budget.
So in year one, Jared and myself plan to each close 5 deals within our industry. Year two, we're going to continue to add to that as well as add salespeople, and we're going to hire value-added resellers, and we'll continue to do this over the next 3 years as volume increases.
Okay. So this is a little bit about our operating plan, and we'll get into a little bit more in the next slide. John and I both have backgrounds in the construction industry, so we're a little familiar with how it works. We deal with our suppliers, and we integrate all of our suppliers' technology. And then after that, we do marketing through trade shows, direct marketing, and value-added resellers. Unlike the consumer market, this market is highly concentrated in that they all go to the same trade shows, they all read the same trade magazines, and they're a lot easier to reach. And ultimately, we provide fanatical customer support to our customers to support our hardware as well as software.
So the Printless Plans team consists of myself and Jared. Right now, we are in search of a CTO and a CFO. We are supported through the ETC as well as the Dartmouth Entrepreneur Network, and our advisors are Scott Shell and Neil Davis.
We've been working diligently over the past year and a half to bring this product to market. We've actually come up with an alpha prototype that was developed in conjunction with the Dartmouth Thayer School of Engineering. We've done app development with MindGrub Technologies, a local firm. And in Q2, which we're doing right now, we're custom designing a printed circuit board so that it can be mass produced effectively and also meet our needs a little bit better than the development board we're currently using. In Q3, we plan a beta prototype test of 5 major construction companies. One of them is the large local construction firm Whiting Turner. And we also plan to partner with the Maryland Industrial Partnerships to do a development partnership with the University of Maryland.
So to date, Printless Plans has raised $100,000 between the founders as well as the ETC as well as a private investor. Additional funding needs are $750,000 for additional development, materials and manufacturing costs, and other related costs. So, the money. So Printless plans to sell our product as a system, and this system will consist of 10 units. For most construction projects, major construction projects, there are 10 stakeholders on a site that need access to plans.
And this might include your project owner, so the person who commissions the building, your general project manager, let's say your master HVAC person, your master electrician, as well as the architect who's actually doing the design of the building. It's very important that throughout the process, all of these parties remain synchronous and collaborative. So, and here are our sales projections for the years.
So in year one, we take a slight loss from development costs, but in year 5, we achieve close to $950 million in EBITDA, and that's by addressing only 2% of our addressable market.
And thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get the need for it. It seems like you guys have got a lot of work done so far, and the only things that I think would be helpful when you make a pitch would be if you happen to be able to just have like a demo unit
Sure. Yeah.
to show.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
That's big on my list.
And we will have one, especially for demo day. So I hope you guys will come out and see that.
Because, you know, I mean, just
Yep.
being able to like press a button and like show the whole thing change and
huge.
show that it's
Right.
flexible and, you know, and I get the technology. I mean, it's basically a big ass flexible Kindle, you know.
Yeah. Sure.
So that's cool.
Sure.
You know?
BAFK.
Yeah, exactly.
BAFK. I like it. I
Yeah.
like that. That's
So,
we're gonna name our prototype the BAF MK1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for demo day, we're definitely not only going to have a working prototype there, and we're going to demonstrate the system, so more than likely more than one unit, but we're also going to demonstrate a roll of plans and actually bring that so that we can get a sense of the physical weight and heft of the plans, as
Yeah.
well as
So like, you know, here's the physical version and then here's the electronic version with all the same stuff and you can page through, you know, that'd be great.
exactly. And yeah, and we do have that plan. We were we were just kind of working on some other stuff today. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But yeah, we hope you guys both join us for demo day so you can see it. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I got a couple of quick comments.
Sure.
I agree with everything that Dave said. Actually, that's a huge advantage. If you can bring to a investor presentation what the product is, that's like whoa, that's
And
huge.
yours just lends yourself really well to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you're
Sure.
lucky, you can do that, that's just huge. Okay, a couple of comments.
Okay.
It's always tricky having two guys standing up.
Yeah.
You guys gotta work it out. What I would say, and you did fine, Jared, you did fine. You might, one do half the presentation, the other sit down, and then switch roles, the other half.
Okay.
Or you can call on him for questions or have him chime in at various times, because the dynamic is good with two. The two guys standing up there doesn't
Just-
really work. It looks
I
like
see.
you guys can really show you're a team
Sure.
by
Okay.
working through that.
Okay.
Okay, you need to get your credentials way earlier in the presentation, because
Yeah, I noticed
I
I made
wanna know
reference to
I wanna
it.
know who's talking to me, who am I listening to? And you guys have terrific credentials, so, why
Yeah.
not? Just put them up in the first 3 or 4 slides, I'd say.
Okay.
On this one, I don't know that I would
Yeah,
bother talking
yeah.
about the missing people.
Yeah.
because,
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, you can
that's
cut
who
that
you are
out.
right now. It's obvious that they're not there if they're not there, so.
Just mention it's in our plans, we go to CTO and
Yeah.
CFO, and
Okay.
working on it, that's all you need to say.
Okay.
Let's see, the value proposition,
Didn't
work plans.
didn't get that exactly.
Yeah,
Well, we
yeah,
hinted at it.
that's really not a very good slide, for me. First of all, and I'm a nitpicker, on the project budget column,
Mhm.
you got 2 letter O instead of 2 0.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
And the lost revenue actually
Yeah,
looks
something
like it's
like that.
greater than the.
yeah, I
The
mean,
project
that's
budget
not the
itself.
world's worst slide.
No, it's not, it's a
just-
decimal.
Oh, it's the okay.
Yeah, I'll let other people, I'm not a financial guy, but I get the point, but it just wasn't really, I thought maybe you could do something, the same concepts, only present them a little better there.
I think it's just too much detail.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
maybe too much detail.
I mean, the
You got 2 bullet points and then this huge graph following them.
And I would think that
Table
taking
column.
this column off right here would probably make it a little bit
Yeah.
clearer.
And I might just use the numbers and take the boxes off. I mean, you'll figure it out.
Okay.
But I just found, just for your information, I found that kind of confusing.
Okay.
And then the last you had Zeppelin, toward one of the final graphs, you talk about the Zephyr, I get the Zephyr, it makes sense, good name. But then you went, one of the last graphs refers to Zeppelin. And for God's sakes, there's everything, stop,
Oh.
you just had it. What's this one-year Zeppelin system?
Oh, it's the Zephyr.
Yeah, we had a bunch of
Yeah.
different working names. So
Okay, Zeppelin said, I think it was Led Zeppelin. And you,
Right.
you don't
Well, at least you're not thinking of Hindenburg.
Right,
So.
yeah, I kind of was. So anyway,
All right.
Zephyr's great. I saw Zeppelin, that kind of blew my mind. So
Okay.
take a close look at the graphs, but that blew my mind. But the information made sense. okay, the information showed progression, and that was good.
Sure. Okay.
So overall, I mean, the big points, did I get it? Yeah, is there a need? Yeah, clearly. Do you guys have, what seems like a very reasonable solution? Absolutely.
Okay.
And.
Actually,
You know, I guess now that I'm talking, one other thing is the rollout. You know, you said, well, I'm gonna sell 5 and I'm gonna sell 3 or within the first year, and then we're gonna hire some. I don't know, I don't remember hearing that kind of that's unusual for me.
okay.
Usually it's like, well, we think we're gonna, you know, we're not gonna, we think we can do it, you know, we think we can sell just with our own nearby contacts 5 within the first year.
Okay.
something like- And then we plan to, once we get that process down, we're gonna take on some salespeople at such and such
Just
a
ramp
rate.
that up, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Should we even take out that little table, that chart, just
You
take it
might.
out of there?
You
Okay.
might. You've got plenty of charts here.
Okay.
Not too many, but certainly ample. You might, but it just seemed, it makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but
Sure.
the way you presented it sounded like we haven't really thought this out, we're working out of our garage, and so he's got 3 friends over here, he's got 2 friends. You want to know.
Right. Okay.
You wanna
Okay.
say, well, just because of local contacts, you know, we're sure we can, just.
Okay.
You could just
Not
even
between
say, yeah, you
ourselves,
know, our
right?
existing network, we're gonna
Yeah.
have try it,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
sell it to them, you know. that-
So
that-
we've achieved
yeah.
traction within our existing construction networks, and
Right.
maybe drop the Whiting Turner name and
Yeah.
keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so, you know, we're gonna continue to sell through our existing networks, and then once we figure out kind of what that process should look like, we'll ramp it up with these, you know,
Okay.
professional
Yeah.
salesperson, you know,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave, 2 questions for you as an active investor. How do you feel about the dueling presenter format?
It didn't bother me any. I think,
Okay.
you know, the key to it is just, you know, kind of what he was saying, you know, you gotta just make sure you have a clear rhythm to it and that
Yeah.
you're not stepping on each other's toes and stuff. But I didn't detect that with you guys, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's okay. I would say it might be simpler if just one of you could do it, and then
Okay.
the other one could maybe answer certain
It
questions.
is gonna cost you some time.
Okay.
The handoff's gonna take some time, so.
Okay.
The other one, the financial projections are, one could say wildly optimistic. Does that turn you off, or is that okay? I mean, year 5 is $1 billion business.
You know, to me, I just look at the first year,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't worry about the
Whatever
rest.
whatever year 1 is.
Very
whatever-
good.
Yeah, because I mean, the rest of it
Anything
is
beyond-
pure speculation.
Anything beyond
you know.
3 is blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
Cool, all right, good.
All right. What about up till year 3 then? Just your feedback on them, I guess, those projections.
You know, I mean, I'm glad to see that you've thought about it.
Okay.
Actually,
All right,
reality
fair
is
enough.
always very
It is what
different,
it is.
so,
Right.
you know.
Right. Okay. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Isn't it EBITDA instead of EBIT?
Well, it could be either one.
I'm not,
Could be either
I'm not
one.
an
It
answer.
could be either, it
That's
depends whether it's
taxes.
before taxes,
Okay.
interest, and depreciation,
Yeah.
and amortization or not. These
Okay.
guys, none of these companies have any DNA, so it's kind of the same thing.
Okay, all right,
Right.
fine.
I mean, from an accounting standpoint, it's pretty much the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, the EBITDA would be if you were ongoing and had like, you know,
Yeah.
physical assets depreciation.
That's more of a manufacturer.
Yeah, okay.
Going
All right.
concern type connotation, but
Okay.
as a indicator.
Yeah, there's no depreciation, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I got it,
capital
I got it,
stuff.
I got
it's
it.
good.
Great, guys, thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks a
good
lot
job.
for your feedback.